Hello and welcome to the Market Dominators Team Real Estate Podcast. I am the Market Dominator Originaire Associate Real Estate Broker, Mr. John Spascheck, and I am here with the award-winning #1 buyer specialist, Market Dominator himself as well, Mr. Scott Catillus. How are you, my good man?
Hey, everybody. Listen, if you are just tuning in for the first time, we want to thank you for joining us. Hope that you will find what we provide you valuable content to help you in your search for a home or your search to find somebody to sell your home. And if you're returning, we want to thank you for coming back. We hope that you have been just loving what we're putting out. We hope to provide more that you will continue to love. Feel free to share our content, our YouTube channel with your friends and your family. If you know anybody looking to buy, sell, or both, we'd love to help them out.
That's right. And if you would go to the Market Dominators Team on YouTube,
Market
please
Dominators Team.
Yeah, like and subscribe. So we are the Market Dominators, and our approach is really cool, we think, and very helpful. And that is to educate, to advocate, to negotiate, and to dominate.
You know, John, I just met with somebody last week that I went through our whole approach. They'd never bought a home before. And they were like, wow, that's really cool. I never thought about it like that, like a human body. That was a first-time home buyer. And then from there, I met with somebody that is looking to sell their current home and buy their, upgrade forever home. And I broke it down the same exact way. And they had a home. And they go, well, you know what? Gosh, when we moved into this house, we were young. We don't really know. This is great. We never thought about it like this. I was educating them on the components of a home, the 6 majors, and both parties in 2 totally different areas of life got what I was trying to put across, and it helped them look at the house in a different way than what they were coming in initially thinking they were going to be looking at.
Yeah, that's cool.
So it's huge. We love our approach, and we feel that it does well by people.
Yeah, we love our clients.
Yeah.
That's the big thing. We love our clients. So, folks, if you didn't watch the last episode, I would highly encourage you to go back and watch that episode. It is what I think is probably one of our best episodes we've done, most impactful to our consumers and our clients, helping you to understand the difference between price, which is being talked about in such a crazy way because everybody's paying over list price and people are overpaying price for the house, but they're not measuring the cost.
Yeah.
And so that episode will cover that. A couple episodes, we went over the top 3 things that a buyer should do to prepare to buy a home in this crazy, insane market. Today, we're going to cover the top 4 things a seller should do to win and dominate in this market.
I think, John, everybody just assumes in this market that if you put the for sale sign out and you just say, come see it during the open house, and that it'll sell. Right?
They're right on that. It will sell.
They are right. It will sell. But the bigger question is, for what? How much money is it going to sell for? And I think there's a distinct difference in that, right?
There's huge.
It's easy to sell, but can you get the most?
Yes. And we know that recent data just came out that says 23.59% of homes, not of homes, I'm sorry, homes are selling at 23.5% higher that are represented by an agent.
Absolutely.
Versus those who are not.
Yeah.
And people who are trying to sell them homes themselves, they'll do it.
Sure.
But they're trying to save 6% and it's costing them 23%.
Yeah. You're leaving money on the table.
Hello.
There's no way around it.
Yeah. So what can you do to help prepare to get ready for your home, for the market? The first thing to do is people say, well, I got to go through and I got to update this, this, and this. I got to do this. I got to clean out that room. I got to paint that room. I got to put the flowers in the ground. I want to wait till spring. I want to do the folks, settle down. Okay. Simmer down. if you want a lot of money for your home, the first thing you should do, number one, find a great agent. Have them come in and let them tell you what you should do right away. Absolutely. And I encourage interview 2 or 3 agents. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, our consumers today, they do not interview 2 to 3 agents.
Yeah.
They don't. They just go with the one that they choose. Okay. Yeah. Now you may have a family friend, a family member, a family friend, whatever that's in real estate, and you're going to be loyal to them and give them your business. Great. If they're not a good agent, you still want to do that. That's great. You're going to be paying for that. Okay. Yeah. But so number one, get the right agent, because the right agent's going to tell you what to paint, what not to paint, what to update, what not to update, and how to do things to get prepared for your home before you start dumping time and money. They're also going to help set a timeline for you.
Right.
Because we just went over the fact that interest rates are moving up so fast, and you think it doesn't affect you as a seller, but it does. Yeah. Because the house you're selling is going to get marketed to the people who are buying mortgages. So when the rate goes up, it's going to affect the buying market of the market you're marketing to.
Their affordability goes down.
Yeah. Which means if your market is this big, when the rate goes up, your market gets smaller.
Yeah.
And the smaller your market gets, the less you're going to get for your house. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, number one, find the right agent. If you want me to come to your home, if you want me to help find an agent for you, I will do that. Okay. No cost to you. 716-570-3298. Reach out to me directly. You can text, call me. I'll be responsive. I'll answer my phone. I don't care where in the country you are. Okay. I can help you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Number two, as you go through and once you've met an agent, you've selected an agent, the next thing that'll become most important is getting the house prepared for sale, which you're all gearing and running towards staging.
Yes.
Okay. Now, as the number one buyer's agent in West New York, Mr. Scott Catillus, award-winning agent himself, how important is it for you and your buyers when you walk into a home that is well staged versus one that is not?
It's huge, dude. It's huge. Number one, even before we get there, we talk about this. How's everybody search? They search online. They're looking online. And obviously, what are they seeing? They're seeing pictures. If the house doesn't photograph well, which is going to involve your staging, how it looks, the people aren't going to come see it. Okay. I can't speak for every situation, but more often than not, I send somebody a listing or they send me a listing, and then it's like, I don't know. Look at how rough that looks, or look at this, or my gosh, that couch is so big. There's no room in the living room. Like, guys, that's a small thing. They're like, oh, never thought about that, right? You're just subconsciously looking at that and you're making assumptions based on the pictures. So number one, if the pictures don't look good, then you're not even going to get there. Obviously, the content of the pictures matters. So make sure that, it's well presented. Mm-hmm. And then when you walk in, you got to be able to have people. We've talked about this before. There's different types of people in terms of their ability to kind of picture and see and visualize a room. Some people can walk in and it's just, there's nothing. It's completely empty. And they're able to say, okay, my couch can go here, my TV here, this here, that. Yep, perfect. This will work. And then there are some people that they can't do that.
They can't. So we know there's 4 different types of people,
yeah, go over
in terms of assessing personality theory. You can, go from the Enneagram, which is a little bit more current, to the DISC, to Myers-Briggs, to going all the way back to the scientific terms of melancholy and sanguine and caloric, and these things are a way of describing human beings. Okay, we do know that 2 of them have a very difficult time measuring space.
Yes,
their spatial awareness is not, doesn't come natural to them.
Yeah.
So when they walk into a vacant home, they're going to have a very hard time, imagining where all their furniture can go and how it can fit. Or if they walk into a home that's overly cluttered, the same thing.
Yeah.
So when you're marketing your home, you want to appeal to how many of the different personality types?
All of them.
All 4.
All of them.
So staging is critically important to make sure that you are appealing to all of the market, not just half.
Yep. You want people to walk in and immediately say, this is my house.
Yes.
This is my house. You want,
which is why we don't use personal pictures, because if somebody walks in the house and sees a picture of somebody else, subconsciously they think, oh, that I don't know them. This isn't my house.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I was just in a house yesterday that had just in general, the couch was very large for the room, and the room was more long and rectangle. So they were looking at it and they're like, okay, well, this TV's here. But I can't put the TV there. And I just literally knew. And then they eventually said it. This couch is just too big for this room. I said, yeah, guys, it is. Right. But it like messed with the perception of what they thought. So at the end of the day, you got to make sure that the staging is well. Now, if you've just got a completely vacant home, right? You could hire a stager to bring in furniture, pictures, decor to make it pop. But there's also great ways to just use what you have. Sometimes you got to declutter and just use your available furniture and your available decor more efficiently. And then sometimes you don't have enough and you got to bring a little bit extra in.
Yeah.
And, we help people do that when we go and we're looking at their house and getting them prepared to sell it.
That's right. So number one, find the right agent.
Yep.
You really have to find the right agent. It's very critically important.
Yeah.
Okay. Number two, staging. Get the staging right to match the market so it can appeal to all different personality types and everybody in the market, not just half.
Right.
Number three, the actual marketing. Now listen up, folks. I'm going to talk to you real quick about marketing. It's a very obscure term. That's not obscure. It's a generalized term. You could ask somebody what the definition of marketing is. You ask 10 people, you might get 10 different answers.
Yeah.
Okay. I want you to think of marketing in terms of passive or active. So passive marketing would be just throwing a sign in the yard, sitting back, waiting for a phone call, doing an open house, waiting for people to show up. Okay. Putting it in the MLS, waiting for a response. Yep. Anything you're waiting for is passive. Anything you're actively going out there and making connections with and for is active. Okay. And you want to do both. So you want to make sure when you're interviewing your agents, have them explain to you the difference between passive and active marketing. Ask them the question, what is the difference? What do you see the difference between active marketing and passive marketing? And what do you do to actively market the home? Okay. Active marketing is critically important.
Yeah.
Doing things like reverse prospecting, doing things like artificial intelligent marketing. Okay. Will somebody out of town pay more money for a home here in our market than somebody relocating locally? These are good questions to ask and know when you go. What is somebody's actual marketing approach? How are they going to lead capture the people that are out there in the market? Or are they just going to wait until somebody approaches them because they have a listing?
Right.
Okay. So lead capture is huge. So figuring that out is very critically important, and your agent should be able to be expert enough to go over that with you in a very detailed way so that you can feel comfortable that your house is being actively marketed, not just passively marketed. You can do the passive marketing yourself. Okay. What you should be paying for, the value in an agent, part of that is active marketing. Number 4. Okay. So we have number 1, find the right agent. Number 2, staging. Number 3, know the difference between active and passive marketing.
Yep.
And number 4, which in my opinion is where most of the meat on the bone is. Okay. And that's negotiating.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's really sad that everywhere in the country, in order to get your license to transact real estate, you have no requirements to go through any training on negotiating.
Yep.
Let me say that again.
Yep.
There is nowhere in the United States of America where, as a real estate agent, in order to become licensed, you are required to have any training in negotiating. And yet, 50 of our states require you to have agency representation for your client. and yet there's no training on how to negotiate for them. Fiduciary representation means they have to do what's in your best interest above their own.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
Doing what's in your best interest above their own. Now, if they don't know how to effectively negotiate, how are they going to do something in your best interest? So you better make sure that that agent understands how to negotiate and they've had some training in negotiating.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Because you need representation on how to negotiate.
I always tell people that, you're in a lawsuit or something crazy happens and you're getting a lawyer to represent you, right? There are amazing lawyers and there are okay lawyers, and the really good ones that get really good results aren't just showing up to court and standing there and saying, yeah, this is what happened. Okay, see you later, judge. And then you're walking out and they're getting paid, right? They are representing you to their absolute best of their ability. And there's some negotiating in there. There's some, hey, listen, this is what's going on and this is how I perceive it. They're your fiduciary. And so we're really the same way. We're putting ourselves in their shoes and trying to act on their best interest.
Yes. And actually, our license is granted within the New York State, and it's like this in every state, under the law.
Yeah.
So the same law that an attorney has to study to pass the bar and become a lawyer in their state, a section of that is real estate law, real property law. It's called.
Right. Yep.
That's the law that we have to know to get our license. And it does include that representation.
Yeah.
The bar for real estate agents, though, unfortunately, has been set so low that the requirement for training is almost non-existent. And so when you begin navigating the market, it's a double-edged sword. For us, it's great because we're trained in negotiating. We know how to negotiate.
Yeah.
And it's easy to negotiate against other agents who don't know how to negotiate and haven't had that training.
Yep.
So we end up winning a lot. In fact, it's in our tagline, right? We educate, we advocate, we negotiate, and we dominate. So that's what we do, right? So as we talk about these things, the top 4 things are finding the right agent, understanding how to properly stage your property.
Yep.
Number 3, understanding marketing, the difference between passive and active marketing. And number 4, effectively negotiating. Effectively negotiate on your behalf. Okay. Now, let's talk about that for a second, because negotiating effectively does not mean beating the other party up, taking them for everything they're worth, not leaving a cent on the table. No, that's not what effective negotiating is. Effective negotiating in our minds is it's a win-win.
Yeah.
You create a path for both parties to win, or it's no deal.
Right.
Because this isn't buying a pair of sneakers. It's not an impulse buy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or an impulse sale. It's you're going to have to be in negotiations or in relationship with a buyer if you're a seller for about a 2.5 month period. And then even after that, you got to make sure that they're happy and they're not going to come after you, right?
Yep.
So you want to effectively negotiate in a way where both parties win. Okay. And there's ways to do that without pulling away from advocating for your client.
Absolutely.
So you want good relationships. You're actually negotiating on behalf of your client, and you want to come across as a pro, somebody who's amenable, somebody who is polite, somebody who's professional, somebody who helps figure out solutions.
Yep.
And not just looking to win at every little nook and cranny turn, because sometimes that could come back to haunt you.
Yeah.
Learn that earlier in my career. But as we become more seasoned, learning how to negotiate properly is a little bit of a mix between a science and an art.
Yeah.
And so feeling it out. Every situation is different, but learning how to listen, learning how to respond, creating solutions, and presenting them on behalf of your client. making sure you understand what your client's needs and wants are and
Yeah.
how to communicate that.
Right.
So
it's huge.
So there you have it. Top 4 things to do if you're getting ready to sell in a market. Number 1, find the right agent. Number 2, stage that home properly so you can appeal to all types of buyers. Number 3, effectively market your home through active marketing, not just passive. And number 4, know how to negotiate. Find an agent who knows how to negotiate, who has had training in negotiating, so that you can win. And here at the Market Dominators team, we like to educate, advocate, negotiate, and dominate. So we are thrilled to be bringing you this real estate podcast. You can find this on the Market Dominators team YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe. Go there, hit the little bell button so you could be notified when we have a new episode coming. In the meantime, Mr. Scott Cattillas here and I are going to be getting out and representing our clients and selling houses, as well as working on the finishing touches of our brand new studio coming soon to broadcast from. So we're really thrilled about that.
Yeah. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah. So without any further ado, we are heading out. Go Bills.
Go Bills. Okay,